Hey folks, let me know if you can hear me. I'm just going to get started here. I'm going to be about 2 minutes. Just going to run through the markets real quick here for you guys. I'm not going to make this a very long session at all. I say 2 minutes. It might be about 5 minutes, maybe 10. You know me, if you've been with me long enough. I tend to ramble on sometimes, but this is going to be a pretty quick session. Not a whole lot happening this week so far. It's been pretty quiet. I've got the chat window open here, so just let me know if you guys can hear me or not, and we'll get going here. So, real quickly, I'm going to zoom in a little bit on the US dollar, and you can kind of see here, haven't done a whole lot of anything. We've been sitting in a consolidation for the past 4 days after the nice pullout from last week. Dropped down, and so far we're just sort of trending sideways. Now, one of two things: we're either trending sideways because the downward trend is starting to reverse and it's losing momentum, and we're going to start seeing a move to the upside here pretty soon, or we're consolidating because it's back in this consolidation range, and that's what price does when it meets back in the consolidation ranges, is it consolidates more, and we could see a continuation of the downside. I don't know one way or the other. I think we're pretty much going to go to the upside. We've got a nice little gap right here that I think they're going to want to try and fill another little gap right in here. That price could run up to, but I think ultimately we're probably going to lose steam. We may see one quick stab to the downside and try to sweep underneath these lows under here, but I'm not going to really be able to tell here for the next probably day or two while price is breaking, sitting in here. So far, we've got some equal highs up here that I like, where I think they're going to try and run to here fairly quickly and get up to, and I would imagine from there we'll have to kind of see what happens from there. So small pocket of liquidity right above those areas there, potentially run up into and including 95.15, maybe higher, maybe a bit lower. It's kind of where I'm anticipating price to run up to here for the interim. Turn on the data dividers so you can see you take out the Monday high here, and who knows where we go from there. Do we create a high on for Tuesday London of the week up at the 95.15 level and start to run over? And you see what they've done under here. I'll just unload this a little bit. See what they've done here. They've created a relatively equal bottom here, this double bottom, which they could be leaving for a little later on to come back down to and run those stops. A little bit hesitant at the moment. I don't really know exactly where they want to go. Obviously, we're moving up right now, and that trend will probably continue. I would imagine we'll probably end up taking this highs out, but I don't see, from what I'm seeing from this pattern down below here, I don't see them coming up and pushing through and making a couple of big bold candles and then eventually start to try and challenge these highs and these highs in here. I don't see that. I kind of feel like right now they could roll over. Now, this is a little bit opposite from what I had mentioned from my original analysis from Sunday, discussing about how price I thought was going to ultimately come back up into here and start to challenge these highs. I don't know. I honestly, when price breaks this level here, I'll have a better idea. That'll probably be later London, even Tuesday New York Open, and we'll have kind of a better idea where price is going to go. For now, I think we're definitely going to trade up to here. So if we go over to the euro, we're going to get the corresponding movement downward in the euro, and I had kind of discussed that's where this line here and here comes from. I didn't anticipate a run this deep, but I am looking for them to come back down and recapitalize this level down here. Whether it gets down to the 1140, 114.60 level, sorry, or not is another question. Again, depending on the strength of the dollar move, higher will depend on how low we get on the euro. So right now I'm kind of just sort of sitting here just waiting for what they want to do. Again, we got those same equal highs here that equate to the same equal lows here on the dollar. So I think they're leaving those. I think honestly they're going to come back for those. Those are too perfect for them to leave. We could come down, see a nice runoff, and then them come and snap back up and take those highs above the market. I'm going to be watching for that. And you see right where this 50% line is right here, about the just a little bit below where we currently are right now. We could see a little bit of support garnered from that level as well. But I think we're probably going to ultimately roll over and take out this low here quickly. And then I don't honestly think we're going to get all the way down to here. But market on the euro anyway right now was a little bit in question. We're just sort of, again, look where we're trading. Look how much time price is spent in here, in here, in here. And now we're right back in there again. So, you know, you think you're going to get a reversal like this. Think price is going to reverse in here, comes back down and smashes back down, and then again comes into here. You think you're going to get a reversal and go back down, comes up and smashes up, and then in here reversal down, up, and it's kind of all over the place. So I'm going to hold off on any advice for what I think is going to happen on the euro cable. This was a quick trade that I showed you guys from that live video. Hopefully some of you guys got into that. I put a long order in from down here. Quick rip up, I got in and got out and grabbed the boats. I think it was just under 50 pips by the time it ended up going through. It was a nice little trade to start off the week, and you can see prices now just sitting completely sideways. Gap has been fulfilled, movement down, gap back up, and so far we've had a failure to get above this old high right in here. I'm kind of thinking, on cable at least, I'm kind of a little bit bearish on cable for the most part. I started off the week, I said I'm bullish euro, I'm bullish US dollar. I'm thinking that price is going to start making a run. We could certainly see a smash through 95.15 without a problem. It might happen, absolutely. I'm just saying they kind of left these equal lows down here and they're a little bit suspect. Cable, however, looks pretty bearish. They didn't leave those equal highs up in here. Like the US dollar left those equal lows and like the USD left those equal highs. So I'm kind of thinking that we may see a run down. And if we do see a run down, I would suspect that this low would get taken out fairly easily on the downside. And we could be stretching for this guy down here. I'll put a price tag on that quickly. So we'll see. Again, I'm not really calling anything. I called a nice move there to open up the week, and I think I'm going to hold off for now until I see a little bit more information. UJ, I'm still looking at this to happen. We could see a little bit more downside before it does, but so far, very, very nice reaction off of this level in here, and it really, what it did is just bounce back off of these old highs in here, and so far we've had a nice 40 pip run to the upside. I believe we could see some continuation. Again, if we do see that US dollar continue to push up, we should see UJ start to push up as well too. But just keep in mind, you know, anything's possible. That US dollar could make a run for those two lows down there, so which means we could see them try to run this low one more time. So don't marry your long positions, is all I'm saying. We could see some more upside to there, but make sure you have a real type stop. As soon as that trade goes into profit, you know, by 10 or 20 pips, move your break even up to, or your stop loss up to break even. US CAD, you know, same type of thing, just really not doing a whole bunch. Yesterday we had a nice kind of spike up and then a drop lower for if you were in front of the markets and managed to catch the absolute high to the absolute low. 90 pips, good for you. Doubt it. It was a quick 1 hour, 2 hour movement to the downside that happened later in the day, and I didn't catch it. I wasn't watching this pair, and we should see a move to the upside. Now I want to see what they do on this pair when they hit the 130, or I should say 1,300 level even. Curious to find out what they want to do with this pair when it hits that level. If they want to reject and come lower one more time, or if they want to keep cascading it up higher. If they do want to keep pushing through this level here, then I would say without a shadow of a doubt they should easily be able to run these two highs up in here. But again, I won't know until it starts to run through that level, and we're getting pretty close to it right now, so we'll watch for that. I am again pushing to the upside on this one here. Crude oil, to be honest with you, I had a long position on crude oil. We filled the gap. We came down here and we started to retrace back up in here. I actually took a long position as price was slamming back down into this guy right here. and it was pretty short-lived. I only grabbed a few ticks, and I ended up getting stopped out on this trade because price smashed back down through here. I had a pretty tight stop on it. Had my stop underneath this guy right here, so it wasn't a big loss, but that was my crude oil trade. I made a better trade on the cable going into Monday than I did the crude oil, so I should have left it at that, but unfortunately I thought we were going to see price start to cascade up nicely, and it did not, and so far it put another big capitulation lower and kind of caught me off guard there. So wasn't sure what crude oil was going to do, and I'm going to sit on the sidelines on crude oil as well too. And that's all I got for you guys today. There's really nothing that I can see that is standing out that I'm going to say, yeah, get onto it. Gold had a very, very nice pop out from last week, and so far it's stalling. It hasn't done anything since last week, so nothing really to talk about there. S&P going straight sideways for the past 1, 2, 3 days, going to its 4th day now, nothing there. Copper doing nothing. Cocoa, big wick down today on cocoa. Encouraging that it may be done breaking to the downside, but I'm not going to warrant this pair out, so I don't have anything on cocoa for you guys yet. Coffee had a big bull move up, and unfortunately very, very, very shallow. I was talking about this last week. Had a very, very shallow retracement and didn't even get to fill the gap in, and then just continued to push up. We're going to run these stops up in here. I believe these two equal highs on cocoa, or sorry, on coffee. But yeah, it's just not giving me a chance to get in here, unfortunately, and I think that's how it's designed. Right? The price starts to break to the upside here. They give you one chance to get in, and then boom, they skyrocket price. So opportunity missed if you didn't get in on coffee, and I did not, unfortunately. I missed that move personally, so my bad. Cotton, nice little breakout so far to the upside. Grabbed the stops underneath this old low just briefly, and so far making a nice push up. We might see a little resistance in this area here, but if we do see price start to trade back down to these old equal highs in here and start to reject, then we could get another subsequent move to the upside, so we'll be watching for that. Orange juice, nothing much going on there. The other one I want to talk about was sugar. Nice big bull move up on sugar as well too. And this is the one. This is the big bull move that I think we're going to see price eventually get up to here. I want to see it retrace a little bit. And again, same type of thing as what coffee did. It came down and just briefly, just barely, didn't really even get it, but just barely filled the gap in here and continuing to cascade higher. So I'm looking for a move back down, retesting these old highs in here and see if we can't get long in there. I don't want to buy it from here, but I think there could be opportunity back down at these lows in here to get long. I'll put a price tag on that so you guys can look at that on your own accord. Watch coffee at that level there because we could see a move up higher. And that's about it. I don't see... Look at Bitcoin. How'd you like to be part of that market? As I mentioned, they're probably going to come up, fill this area in here, and reject. And that's exactly what they did. I wasn't even watching Bitcoin today. Yeah, that's I was calling a move back up into this gray shaded area and a rejection, and I think Bitcoin's going to go lower, by the way, guys. If this is not the first time you heard me saying this, I'm going to say it again. Probably going to go lower in Bitcoin, and they're just building in a nice price move to the upside for them to just drop the market out of this thing. So just be careful on Bitcoin. I think we're going much lower. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. And that's it, guys. I don't have a whole lot to talk about, unfortunately. Kind of a dull day, nothing much going on. I'm not trading tomorrow. If I see something during New York Open, I will update you then. Dave will be in on Wednesday. He'll be discussing some things, but until then, I'm just, I'd be cautious, take a couple of scalps here and there if you can get them. If you pull out 20, 30 pips, great, do it. I don't see any big move or big setups yet. I'm going to be watching for them, though, and if I do see them, I will keep you updated. So until I come back on Thursday, London Open, we'll catch up to you then. I'll link you when Dave goes live tomorrow. And for Wednesday Open to trade the S&P and gold. Until then, we'll catch up to you then. Bye-bye.